miracle. He used water to light his lamp. So he is a great man, miraculous he can perform. So they started giving him gallons and gallons of kerosene from that moment onward. But nobody explained to them, when you put water, what was there at the bottom surfaces comes to the top. As any student of science, he will find out.
Now we know.
And the kerosene is lighter than what?
Lighter than,
it settles down at the top.
On the top. You see, they didn't tell that, you see, those guys.
Putpurti Sai Baba, a middle school dropout, who is it created such a huge amount of wealth?
There are enough fools in this world to fall from that kind of thing. Sure, he started colleges to have boys for his homosexual activity. And so that is all the reason why he starts colleges.
No, but how could he achieve so much?
There are so many people, sir, who can achieve, you see. Especially in that field, there is a market for such crooks. You see. You believe in that? His miracles, his performing miracles?
No, the educational institution is built up. The hospital, the stadium.
Sir, he built up with a fellow whom he knows very well. A European came and built
Americans are
because of him. Because of him.
He was a real estate guy who had a lot of money. He wanted, I told him, he himself was shocked. Why are you helping him to create all these colleges for the boys? I said, do you know he's a homosexual? This was 1971, 72, so many years ago.
He's not laying the buildings as a miracle. After all, people like you are working for him.
And like him as
and architects and money people.
Yeah,
pouring money.
How can he draw those people to him?
a magician.
How will he inspire them?
He can fool them well like that. Offering moksha.
Or Bhagavantam like sacrifice.
Why did he walk out afterwards? He found out. If you want, you can see the BBC program. What is it?
Secret Lives of People.
Guru Bus.
He's a magician, sir.
Somebody handing over. He's a magician.
We have all seen the trick he is doing in slow motion.
But instead of that, he is
I can also do that now. You see, do you know how I learnt all those tricks, sir? There is one fellow there in Australia who is doing his doctorate. The subject of his thesis is God Man. And he has read a lot of stuff about me and read all the books. He tried his best to include me in his thesis. He totally failed. He spent a lot of time with Sai Baba here for years and years, and he got nothing from him. He found out how he was mesmerizing people, how he was creating all these things out of nowhere. And so then he heard that I was there in Sydney. There were about 30, 40 people like this who came to see me. And I spoke for 2 hours. And then you see, they also showed the interviews, the TV interviews. And half a day he spent with me. And he came and introduced himself and said, Viji, even now I can't, with all this, my encounter with you, personal encounter, watching all those things, there is no way I can include you in my thesis. It's all right, I'm not concerned about it. There is no way you can include me anywhere for that matter. And then he said, I'm going to do what he did. You see there, this place, Bangalore, he spent 6 or 8 months here watching it very closely. And then first thing you see the ashes, and how he made those balls, tiny little balls. And he said even on my photo he will make it...
The photo will shed ashes.
Photo. He did it. He bought my book and then put it there. Ashes were falling.
Must be magic, yes.
It's a magic, sir. I know it's a magic. You see, that's all right. And then he did all kinds of things. You see, to all the 30 people that were there, you see, here are all my ash balls. You see, you go ahead and do it. I also did it. You see, nobody noticed that. They thought that I was a holy man. But when he did it, you see, they were not ready to brush that bastard out of their system. They were not interested, those people who were there were not interested in Sai Baba. This guy, you see, the subject of Sai Baba came up, and why he decided not to include him, you see, in his thesis, he explained it to me, because he found that he was, you see, a crook, you see, a magician. Like magicians are better than, you know that Baba, our Babu, what is that you tell him, our Bob Carr, great magician. This guy is no match to him, I am telling you. Sai Baba, he performed so many tricks in Murthy's place here, and then when he was there last time, he did something he doesn't even tell me. How he performed that, you see, magical, extraordinary I am asking him, he said, do you know what? He asked somebody to come. That is that Krishnamurti's son. Give me 100 rupee note. He gave him 100 rupee note. And he showed that 100 rupee note to everybody and asked everybody there, about 20-25 people were there, to note the number of that 100 rupee note. Right? And everybody noted the number of the 100 rupee note. And he asked the same guy to light a match and he put it there, burn it. And he burned that to ashes. And he was worried that his 100 rupee note will be burnt. Don't bother, I'll give you another 100 rupee note. It's not possible for you to have this again. And then burned to ashes. And he asked somebody to bring an orange from somewhere. And he cut it, opened it, and this note was there. He was once a holy man. He was running a big religious center until he met me. He's a very famous fellow he was in those times. He was giving lectures in the university, and then he was in the holy business until he met me. So when he met me, he explained there was a gap. I have known him for 30 years. And he came to see me in Bangalore, and then he described his spiritual state and how he and G Krishnamurti was in the same spiritual state. He was talking to me. I listened to that crap for 2 hours, and I told him, look, original itself is a fake. There is nothing to G Krishnamurti. So you yourself don't bother about it. And he walked out of everything. He closed that place and tried to live on the money, little money he had from his own property. And then he did not know what to do with himself. He decided no holy business, no magic business. And then he opened a restaurant. And that was one of the very popular one of the 10, in the best 10 restaurants in that area, near San Francisco. So after 10 or 15 years he got tired of that. And then sold it, and then he found that he should do something. And then he opened another small cafe in San Rafael, and that's also doing very well. He's an extraordinary guy. How are you, sir? All right. It is your privilege. Why should I deny that to you? You know, I used to say you are not going to get anything from anybody. You will find out. Waste a lifetime seeking all kinds of people. Coming out in the street.
Which is the case here too. Which is the case even in me.
This is because you are focusing on certain things and telling yourself that that is beautiful. You must look at the beautiful sunrises and sunsets, the beautiful things, and not everything that is there. So it is just not possible for you. You see, you are selective. The selectivity is there. You understand? And censorship you are using, what you call you. Selectivity, censorship is preventing the possibility of the eye looking at everything that is there, you think. But you are focusing on a certain thing, but this eye is taking in everything that is there. You don't even know that it is taking the pictures and putting it in the computer. You don't even know that you are looking at those things. You don't know that you are looking at things. I don't know if you get what I am saying. So millions and millions and millions of pictures are there in the computer. You understand? And so in exactly the same way, you don't listen to everything that is going on there. So supposing you are making a telephone call, if I say something to you while you are on the telephone, you very rarely listen to what I am saying or whatever is happening around you, because you are only listening to the other person. But listening mechanism is operating differently. It is taking in millions and millions of decibels of sound and putting it there in that data bank or memory bank or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it suddenly, like in the computer, it comes out when you are playing with the computer. So you don't know how it came because you never saw that. And you tell yourself when you look at something, I have never seen this before. You tell yourself, how come this is something which I have never seen before is suddenly here? No, you have seen that, but you did not, you see, focus on this particular thing. You are limited framing.
Creating frameworks.
Creating frames, you see, you look at the frames, you see, but not whatever is there. And if your eye is looking at things without you, it doesn't even know what it is looking at, because it never tells you that the tree is round, you see. So you are the one that tell yourself and others that the tree is round, you see. So every time you look at that tree, you tell yourself and that the tree is round. But the tree is not round because the physical eye cannot see the whole tree. It only sees this side. So the tree, as far as the physical eye is concerned, is flat, and we are taught, and you can go and use all your logic, all your rationality, take me around geometry, and fool yourself and fool everybody that the tree is round. The tree is not round. If you asked me, is the tree round or flat? My answer would be round, because that's what I am taught.
You're not saying it's not round, or neither
you can never see the reflection of that object on the retina is the flat side of the tree. In exactly the same way, when the eyes are looking at your face, what is there is like that photo flat. It doesn't see the round face, it doesn't see the space, it doesn't see the depth, the physical I am talking about. You see, but it just sees what is there in front of it. You have no idea at all what is it that the eye cannot see.
This is something I can't know, what you're telling me.
Because that's the way the physical eye is looking at things. The physical eye is not even looking at things.
It doesn't know it's looking.
It doesn't know even the sky is blue, the tree is round, and is wearing his silver grey pants. It's all that is. It never knows that the time is 4:46. Never. It reaches the time because there is no need for this to know what the time is. So the physical senses are operating independently of what you are interested in looking at, what you are interested in touching, what you are interested in smelling, what you are interested in listening. You see? So that is why I tell sometimes very blunt things to the religious people who say that there is something tremendous about Omkar. Omkar sound is extraordinary. You know, Pittil kya hota hai Telugu? Tamil, when you shake there is some sound.
English word,
That is more melodious, more attractive to the listening mechanism than all your mantras, all your Gayatri, all the music.
You sing that just to shake the other
No, I'm not interested. That is not the way. The listening mechanism is the listening to the things, because it is not focusing on anything. That is why you have eye troubles. That is why you see you have to go to the doctor and get glasses. Otherwise, you see, you don't need glasses, you don't need any ophthalmologist to help you with your eye. You are yourself destroying the possibilities of the eye, and so you are reading, focusing on things. If you say that that is beautiful, you are not allowing the eye, so you are yourself responsible for all your eye problems. You are responsible for your deafness because you are not listening to everything that is there. It is registering certain things. You say, I want to listen to this and not to that. You are there all the time, what you call you. So, but this is recording everything. I tell you one thing, and all these jokers tell us that you see the noise destroys the sensitivity of your nervous system, so avoid noise. And even his landlord was telling today that you see it is more noisy than when he first lived there, you see. Because there are more cars going all the time there on the road. You condemn that, but you see if the sound or noise out there is above certain decibel level, if this cannot take, it doesn't need your knowledge, it doesn't need what you tell is good for this, it just cuts out and you hear nothing. You hear nothing, slowly it moves away. Just the way, you see, when you look at that bright sun, it knows that it knows not the way you know, that it will damage the eye, automatically it goes away.
In which case I'm living in a world of symbols.
You are living in a world of ideas, fantasies, beliefs, And what else? What other words you use? Which is totally unrelated to the functioning of that body and what the body is interested in. It is not interested in anything you think is good for you. It is not interested in anything you eat, telling yourself that it is good for the body.
So you say I'm cheating myself when I say I'm not there and I want to get there.
What there?
Say
Where?
something like all
Where?
that's real or whatever.
That body is functioning exactly the same way all these bodies are functioning. There is absolutely no difference there as far as the functioning of the body is concerned. But unfortunately you have faced yourself in a situation where you have to accept that there is a model for you. It doesn't matter whether that model is a god, goddess, godlet, or any of these, the thieves, robbers, but a thief like me. Or a beautiful lady. There is no such thing as beauty. So that is also taught. So this is what I told you, your father also is a great musician. And what is it that creates the music? The spacing of notes. If there is no spacing of notes, all that music is shit.
But then I find myself liking John Lennon or, the Beatles. Or
You are exposed to that. And you started liking that kind of a music. Otherwise you would, even today, I don't like Hindustani classical music. I tolerate South Indian classical music because I was surrounded by all those musicians there in Kalakshetra. I am telling you, and my wife was a great musician. She was singing all the time. So I can stand that music but not admire, enjoy that music. Whether it is classical.
You can't want it again and again.
Vomit. But what are you saying? I never go to...
He wants to vomit.
Shit. So, if you are not, because I have lived first time when I went to England, this was 60 years ago, a friend of mine dragged me to listen to one of the great, but you see, only the fantasy, that you have, that is why it's a total waste.
See, the three-dimension that I'm experiencing sitting in this room.
Not even one dimension of the physical eye can experience that. So you can tell if Einstein was here today, I would kick that bastard and throw him in that sewage canal. Because the physical eye cannot see the three dimensions at all. It cannot see the depth.
You're so very certain of what you're saying.
I am certain because the physical eye cannot see that you accepted those bastards and swallowed all that nonsense and created certain experiments with that and produced certain results. But anything that comes out of it in the long run is destructive. It is not useful for you at all. So they fool themselves, you give them a Nobel Prize because the physical eye cannot see the depth. If you are sitting there and looking out, where are the trees? Are they far away from this window? It is all one flat. It is not that I have something wrong with my eye, something wrong with you. Because you are using the knowledge of depth and you are experiencing the depth. Depth does not exist. Three-dimensional space is a joke. It cannot see even one dimension. How the hell they talk about three-dimensional? If Einstein were here today sitting, I would finish that bastard in 1 second.
Basic physics is a game.
Again, you see, that is why I say the modern physics, pure science they call, is nothing but metaphysical discussions. You admire the scientists because they have produced technology. Yeah, that is a slow process. It's in our original times when the cars were manufactured in America, they look like horse carriages. So through a repetitive process, doing and undoing, you are changing them, that's all. Models are changing. So through repetitive process, you learn the techniques and change them, and then you have to create a taste for that in me. It takes time for you to make me buy. It took a lot of time for me to persuade him to buy Fiat Uno. You see, I told him Fiat Uno is very popular there in Europe for the past 4 years. And that guy said, no, the doors are not fixed. Right, don't buy that. And he wanted you to buy. I think you all fall for that. See what they are selling, sales pitch. They are fooling us. And the godmen are also fooling us, telling you that we are there, we are gods, we are godmen.
You just now said there's only body is there.
How can so many people say that I have no body consciousness? Why do you believe them?
You do not fully body conscious.
Yeah, yes. But nothing in me tells that this is my hand. You see, that this is my foot. In that sense, you see.
That sense you don't
But
have
not
a
in
body.
the sense in which the people are selling the shoddy piece of goods, that they don't have body consciousness. They do have body
So,
consciousness.
except a translation, everything is same.
Huh?
Except
Exactly the
translation.
same. Exactly. The sensory activity
Yeah.
is exact. Maybe there are
Only
some-
the entity which translates is missing.
So even this genetics, you see, sir, is bullshit. Lot of it is bullshit. Because they are trying to impress upon us everything is like destiny. You know, you don't have any freedom there. You are born that way. And one lady came to see me there in Italy. And the boy never saw her father, his father. And they met for the first time after 12 years, you see. And she was trying to tell me that, you see, there is another kind of, you see, way, inherited traits, and the way he moved the hands, the way, you see, he
Gestures.
moved his head, and the language he used in Italian. He never lived with his father. So she was noticing, you see, the
Similar.
similarities in both. And the genetics guys tell us, you see, that it is genetically inherited by us, the genetic qualities or the gestures, manners, everything. We have to find, you see, reasoning or explanation for everything that is happening. So everything, you know, why with vehicles. You see, it is that is not actually what you are saying, or the inadequacy of communicating or anything. But like the light, you know, when we were students, we were all made to memorize and repeat that nonsense, light travels in straight line. This was 60 years ago. That was supposed to be the advanced physics for us. And now that is kindergarten, they don't even accept anything that we memorize and repeated. The animate and inanimate objects, 10, 12 points, you see, memorize. There is no such thing as animate and inanimate. No. So the whole thing is changed. So we cannot stick to anything, you see, and we try to justify that it's because of this that we are, and some people see even mudras. Oh my God. See, when I talk, they take some photos and say that is this mudra, this is that mudra.
Especially a lot of this.
But no,
I don't know what does it mean. But
Probably-
this comes.
No, but whatever it is, anything I'm
And this
making out
one-
of it,
yours,
it's just
not mine.
Yeah, it's mine.
I don't even
Vijay,
know.
you seem to use more gestures than anybody else here. So fast.
As a speaker or orator,
So how is it more genetical or you acquired it through yourself?
everything you
For
do
this
is acquired.
calamity.
Everything. Calamity, sir, you see, you want to
Is it
draw
acquired or-
No, it gives you hope that this guy listened to some people, did all this yoga, meditation, all the things that you are doing. So it is that is responsible, whatever you think has happened to me. I am saying, in spite of everything I did, whatever has happened to me. And that guy picks up the word happening, you see what is happening, but I don't know what word to use.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with this. So you can't say before and after.
Right.
So I always supply them with before and after. Your surf washing soap, to wash your clothes, and say that is before wash and this is after wash. That before and after applies only to the surf washing powder.
No, my
Not
question
to what?
was, is it genetically programmed so that it has come out by itself?
No,
Or do you
no.
say that? Or is it, as you have said, it's a chance of luck or whatever it may be, stumbled onto it?
I use the word luck because the luck is not in the sense in which we use the word luck. You buy a lottery ticket,
Yeah,
from that
okay.
moment onwards we hope and pray that you will get $1 million or $1 million rupees as the case may be, which is not in that sense. Since there is no way I can establish a cause and effect relationship, whatever happens. Everything there has got to establish cause and effect relationship. Otherwise it cannot survive. That is the problem for the scientists also. They cannot leave that alone. They have to say order, chaos, and then the age of the universe, and then the cause of the thing. Now they say that is they have to brush aside the the great Big Bang theory, and they come up with another kind of a theory. It goes on and on and on. But why are we interested in what they are talking about? The attitude, immensity, and all that kind of exalted nonsense. Until the last minute, I believed that that state, although I rejected all those experiences, still, you see, it was there in the background that it will be something similar to the state in which all those teachers, we believe, lived all the time. You understand? So then, you see, when once that is finished, the last thing that hit me hard, like an earthquake, was you wanted to be in the state of Jesus, Buddha, and all those guys, and suddenly I was sitting there, facing some mountains there. Everything was finished by that time only. So suddenly I said to myself, buddy, you are in the same state as Buddha, Jesus, all the spiritual teachers in the past and in the present, and yet to be born. I didn't say myself. And so then you see, why until yesterday you wanted to be in that state, and now suddenly you tell yourself that you are in the same state. What is it that tells me that I am in the same state? Is the knowledge, the description of that state, described by them and passed on to me. I, in my own turn, using that knowledge, experiencing these things, so very happy.
So,
body, you are still in square one, and then the Chinese proverb, G Krishnamurti also used it, but he did not acknowledge the source. First step is the last step, but if you don't even have to take the first step, no step necessary. That hit me like a lightning. You see, lightning.
Who said that even taking first step is not necessary?
There is no step there to take. I am telling you.
See, but the intensity that was there, you just wanted one thing. You were just obsessed with this.
No, then you are already there. How the hell do you know that you are already
The goal, whatever he had, God put it on.
How do you know that you are in New York? That was my. How do you know that you are in New York? How do you know that you are in New York? I said to myself, I am now in New York. Thank God, at last you are here. Then, because I tried so many times before, something or the other stood in the way of my. Then my wife wanted to come and she could not come, so I did it on my own. And then, how do you know that you are in New York? How do you know that you are in New York? Buddy, open that window and see. All right, I see the Times Square there, I see the Fifth Avenue there, I see the Empire State Building there. You have the knowledge of that. You see, you have seen the pictures there before. You have seen the movies where you have seen all these things before. It is that tells me that is the Times Square. It is that tells me that is the Empire State Building. It is that tells me that is this, that and the other. There is nothing to it. No? How do you know that you are here? How do you know that you are here? That was in 1949. And the same question in a different way, how do you know that you are in the state of Buddha, in the state of... So, it's not that it has evolved from that ridiculous question to this, the last question of mine, but you see the same question, how do you know that you are in the same?
But is it necessary to have one question?
Yeah. Huh?
Is it necessary to have one question?
Even that is not necessary. Because all the questions are the variations of the same question. One question.
What is the one question?
Huh?
What is the one?
That question, what is that one question, should not be there.
I mean, is that question okay.
That's all.
Is it to be stated in a... Was it in a form of a thought for you?
I was experiencing the state of those guys. That was part of my experience. Not on the intellectual level, but it is percolated into the, it percolated into the experiencing structure and experiencing it. So all experiences are worthless, however extraordinary they be. There is nothing to be experienced. So I didn't get any answer. How do I know that I am in the highest state, in the same state? And then half an hour, it was like an earthquake. Went on and on and on and on and on and on. Finished. What happened afterwards, I did not know. I did not tell myself that now I have the answer, or I did not tell myself, now guys, why you wasted 49 years, you have enlightened man, I didn't see any enlightenment there or anything. No bliss, no beatitude, no love, no immense food, nothing.
But there was a certain fearlessness in you after that.
Huh?
But you were not afraid after that. What happened to you?
I didn't even know what happened to me. So afterwards I know what happened to me was that on the physical level, you see the senses were acting in a very strange way. First the eye, you see. You know the children cannot focus for the first 3 months on anything, the newborn children. You see, the first day was the eye. See, I could not focus on anything. Valentine and I were taking walks. Valentine, what is that? That is cow. You see, so it started in a very strange way. How I was taught that was cow. You see. And then after a few minutes I saw that again, I asked again the same question. What is that? The light activates these optic nerves. Instead of using the other terminology, it throws an image on the retina, and then that activates the neurons. Now I know there are no neurons, brain plays no more part in that. And then you see the reflection of whatever is there on the retina. But it doesn't say that it is the dog, it is Harijan guy. It doesn't say that I have to take my bath tonight because I am sitting in front of a Harijan. I'm just joking. Now I told him, you see, I take only one bath. You have seen a Brahmin like me, so you go and take 2 baths. So he is one step ahead of me now. This guy. And if he wants to bring his girlfriend, that will be terrible.
That means all the concepts got melted away.
Image making structure
Melted away.
cannot create an image from the word we use. You see, that's all. If I turn this side, you see, this is like a mirror. You see, it is now turned.
Whatever it's brought before it
No,
should
even
reflect.
that you see is very misleading. I don't have any way.
Anything you say is misleading, isn't it?
Exactly. It is not valid and true even for me. How can it be valid and true for you? The moment it is put in that dead language, dead terminology, it cannot touch anything living.
She's coming at you. But why not the living thing is not touching the dead thing here?
What? No, you dare not touch it. If you touch that, you are finished. Finished. You want to play with it, but you never allow. You see, all the words are dead. You see, this is all right. You see, the cow and the dog and the tree is fine.
An image making mechanism.
Then what about your girlfriend, your wife? You tell me, when you are looking at her, when you don't know, that's the end. But you don't ask for this kind of a thing. It's not something that you can be interested in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
If you are, you see, that was the reason why I had to use that word calamity. You see, what happened was, when an earthquake hits this planet, it has to realign itself. You see, so that kind of a realignment was necessary for this body, because that matter, thought, or whatever you want to call, memory of things, was trying to control the sensory activity, and it could not control anymore. So as a matter of fact, I asked Valentine after 1 month, Valentine, I have lost my powers. I thought I had some powers. No, I never had any powers.
At what age it was?
Huh?
49.
This was
49 years ago.
And then I thought, Valentine, I have lost my powers. She said, you never had any powers. Finished. You are fooling yourself and fooling others. You see? So no clairvoyance, no clairaudience, nothing. The animals are clairvoyant. The clairvoyance is, oh my God, you see, Yuji has always been here. Why the hell you have been looking for a guy like this? And Yuji disappeared for good. That's all that I'm saying. I was not wanting to be like them, you see. I was looking for a guy like this, you see. You know. But not G Krishnamurtis, not Buddhas, not the enlightened people. A guy like this, you see. That's all. And when he found that, Yuji has no place there. So Yuji cannot say that he was looking for a guy like that. He won't be there anymore. Yes.
In your case, our case.
That should be in your case too.
It's not happening here, sir.
It won't happen as long as you look for a guy like me. You have to put me out of your system first.
That is why he has been rejecting everybody. You have no courage to reject him.
You have to reject me first.
How, sir? Please help me to reject
Now, how can I?
I can't reject myself alone.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, you ain't got a chance.
That's why you have to have courage to stand up.
Because how you are treated with others, you can help us to free us from you.
I am telling you, you get rid of me first.
As you tell me the way out. Sir.
Simple. Get up and go.
Physical.
Never come back.
I'll be more miserable than outside, sir.
That's what I'm
Thinking only
saying.
about you.
Yeah.
Reading your books, what good it is talking about you.
That
Better be here.
is why whether you sit here or sit there, it's the same.
Yeah.
You are reading G Krishnamurti's book.
No, I stopped it, sir.
No, before.
Before yes, I
Yeah.
came with that book with you.
Yeah, you are attending their sessions, so we never met afterwards. And he wrote his notebooks after he died. In that notebook, first time he talked about me. It is interesting. I am proud because Buddha is no match to unity. I'm just joking. These are his notebook, Paul Brunton. He was a crook anyway, Paul Brunton. my friend, the guru's what is my father's guru? This fellow was John Messon. He was with him for 50 years. He meditated 50 years. And then when psychology, 60 years ago, philosophy, Advaita Vedanta was my special subject, my honor. And Professor Mahadevan was my professor at that time. He was the head of the Madras University. So he read that statement of mine by accident. Julie gave my books to him. Then he decided to come and see with me. And next day he brought his father and mother. Even now they have both come, the guy died. So then he wrote a book on the father's guru. That is this guy. See? And he was 50 years he meditated. 50 years. Just like that he stopped after meeting me. He never touched any religious books afterwards. He was an extraordinary man. And this guy, what he says in his notebook about me, we never met him. The idea of human perfection would mean the attainment of a static condition. That is his interpretation of that, static condition. That is not what the spiritual teachers say. But nowhere in nature and do we find such condition, static condition, nature, nowhere we find. And everything, as Buddha pointed out, is in a state of becoming. Buddha talked about state of becoming, he said. Or as Krishnamurti number 2 calls it, reality. And then reality is motion. And Buddha never denied that there was anything beyond becoming. But he simply refused to discuss the possibility, whereas the Krishnamurti number 2 stops there and affirms there is nothing beyond it, no ultimate. This is the difference between the two disciplines. I never knew that somebody said that. There were very good reasons. Now he justifies, supports Buddha as against my position. There were very good reasons why Buddha refused. He was living in a country where the intelligentsia were lost in speculations, fruitless and impractical, whereas the emotional were lost in religion. So to help those guys, you see, he had to compromise and talk about it, whereas usually doesn't say there's nothing beyond it. So that is the thing that he meant.
One more thing, you have been mentioning about meditation.
Yeah.
He was meditating for 50 years.
So,
You said this, his
this disciple.
Guru.
But he's
What sort of meditation then? When you take your whatever you have been mentioning, or I don't even you don't even like to be used as teaching.
It is a chemical disturbance in the body.
Then what sort of meditation you advocate?
I found that it was a self-abuse. I did everything that is there in the book, all the techniques of meditation, when I was there sitting and meditating in the Himalayas, when I was between 14th and 21st year, everything that is there in the book.
When you negate all these things, what exists
Rejected.
No, when you negate like this,
What
exists for human beings to survive?
They to live, why? They can live very intelligently, sanely.
What is intelligence again?
Oh, but this is the only reality. The superimposition of a spiritual idea of another kind of a world is the one that is making us uncomfortable, difficult for us to live in this world.
So you have to compare with something else.
No, that is the reason why we are miserable.
Then what shall we do?
There is nothing to do. You are in perfect harmony in this world with everything that is happening. There is no need to change this world at all. There is no need to improve anything.
That means you just sail along.
You are like all the other animals. They are not in there.
They are not doing meditation.
They are not in conflict with
They
the
don't
world.
go to doctors.
They don't go. Nowadays, America, they say they have to go to the vets every 6 months for medical checkup.
That is only
The rich
pets.
people. And all the parakeets have become paranoid. And they also have some psychiatrists, you see, to help these animals. It's because they have plenty of money. And very recently I was there in one of the most expensive shops. It's called Barnes of New York. Most expensive shop. And then there I found that they are selling 100% cashmere sweaters for dogs and cats. Very expensive. What is the need, the cashmere sweaters, the dogs? That was too very expensive. More expensive than what you pay for your sweaters. Things are going too far. And very recently a millionaire left $2 million life interest for his pet dog. But at least he's limited it to the life interest. Otherwise, his family would have gone into the court, and then the family got the rest. But they didn't want him to give $2 million to the dog. You see, and you call it negative because that gives, you see, a leverage for you to escape from facing what I am saying. You see, you are not ready to accept what I am emphasizing. This selfishness is created by the unfortunate thing that they created for us. You must be selfless. If for any reason you want to be free from selfishness, greed, jealousy, envy, or even desires, the one thing that will free you, for whatever reason you want to be free from, is in selfishness, is in greed, is in these things and not in the opposite. You see, that's what I am saying. So you become selfish, you condemn selfishness. The selfishness that you are left with is only the basic survival mechanism. But we have introduced so many things into this, created the survival mechanism impossible for us in this world we have created around us. So otherwise, if it is just a survival, it is the easiest thing to survive in this world.
Live and let live.
See, you cannot kill 100 cobras. Why you kill 100 cobras? The cobra kills you one person because you are threat to that in this situation. But we kill 100 cobras. And do you know what you are doing by killing 100 cobras? The field mice will have a field day, and then they will eat up all the crops that is necessary for us. So we are creating an ecological problem.
But cobras don't eat man. Why should anybody kill?
They kill you because you are a threat to
That
them.
is only a defense mechanism.
Oh, that's why if it is on that level, why do we kill 100 for our children should be protected from the cobras? Or tomorrow you don't want to face another situation like facing a cobra. You see, you are thinking, projecting the safety to the ultimate distance. That is not necessary. You see this, we have so many cobras visiting us here. We take walks with it, and then you see if you don't move it stops. Huh?
Balance.
Yes.
Slippers, silence.
Yes. Everything. Everything.
No, but there in their case, even if they bite you, it is only a question of their defense.
But why
they
not
want to eat us.
No, they are
So
not.
why should
They
at
are
all
not.
we kill
They are
even
not
one?
eating us. The cobras don't eat us.
So why at all we should
Why
kill
you are
even
killing?
one? Even one I am asking.
Why you are
said
killing?
one.
Why you are killing even one?
Why? That's my question.
It is not biting you, it's not killing you. The fear that it will kill
only
you.
we have that fear.
Because it's the fear that radiates the aroma, or whatever you call it, the vibrations. So the cobra has to take the first step. If you don't move, it just stands there, looks at you and goes away.
So as you said, it is easing of your greed. This is a part of the greed, easing of the greed, isn't it? Or selfishness.
No, there is no such thing as greed at all.
No, here, because of our greed to save the rest.
No, which our demand to see that the coming generations are also protected from these cobras, you see. It is not in this situation. For example, the survival mechanism is part of every cell. So it sees that the cell next to anything, to somebody out there. Why are you communicating to yourself?
But I'm doing it.
That is you. You have to do it.
You don't have to do. You don't do it.
No. I don't have to tell myself. You see, there is a need. The need is not self-initiated, never. You see, if I need to know, I am looking at that clock all the time. I never read the time because when I go out, I always go to the wrong side of the car here. Because in America and Europe, it is on the other side. The driver sits on the other side. So automatically, I don't want to reprogram the computer for the simple reason that I will be out of this place within a week, and then that will create a problem for me. So you are all the time thinking about it, you see, and then changing it. You see, I don't want to do that. I don't want to program this computer to go to the other side and not this side or this side.
All of this makes tremendous sense to me. I can say that. How do I know my name is Venkat? How do I know I was born with stones? How do I know my father is my father, my mother is my mother? And so on. So all of that is automatic.
I am told, why the hell do you have to know that he is your mother or he is your father?
Okay, all right.
I don't bother.
I'm a crook. I need to.
No, not a crook or some such thing. My daughter says, I am your daughter, I am your daughter, I am your daughter. So what does it mean? To me, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, it doesn't mean anything. Sure.
To me, because I don't have the relationship that father and daughter supposed to have. You understand? So she can repeat it hundreds of times. I am your daughter, I am your daughter. It doesn't mean anything to me. All right, if it is daughter, is your wife comes and says, your girlfriend says, I am this. You see, they are all, related to one another. You can't say, if that goes, the whole thing goes. That is the problem. You see, it's not one after the other. You know? Anyone goes. The relationship doesn't exist. The money, goes, finish.
All of this makes sense to me.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, okay.
But then it makes sense, no further questions need be formulated by yourself. That's all. You are just saying it makes sense, it is not making any sense.
There is only fear and there is nothing else you say.
Yeah.
And at the same time you say that there is no fear.
No, I can say, you can't say. You can't say that there is no fear. It is the one that says there is no fear is the fear. You see, to allow that to continue. That's why you say there is no fear. Because I made a statement, an assertive statement, that you don't want to be free from fear. So the one you are throwing at me, I don't have any fear. So that is not true. That is the way it survives. You understand? By telling that there is no fear. The fear is maintaining its continuity. You see, then you don't have to say, you will never tell yourself that there is no fear.
And it will maintain its continuity by saying that there is no fear, and also by saying that there is fear.
That there is fear. Always related to what? The fear of losing what you have. The fear of not getting what you want. So ultimately it is only one fear, the fear of losing what you have. What do you have? You have money, you have this, you have position, you have fame, you have name, you have a wife, beautiful wife.
No, what I have is knowledge that I have all these things, right? I mean, I know I have.
That is all that is there, but if you say that it's all knowledge and gifts, then there is no problem. It's the knowledge that is my father, that is the knowledge that it is my... What does it mean, knowledge? There is a sofa, and that's my daughter, or my wife, my girlfriend. You see, you can't... So, you are not ready to go that far.
So, I am scared of...
This is easy, you can say, relating to these things, you understand, you know?
So, I am scared of losing only ideas, nothing else.
Because you are yourself an idea. So you don't want to lose that. I understand that. Why are you trying? You don't understand the danger of you sitting there. If something hits, you are in trouble, buddy. I know that, you see.
That is every chance of hitting one day then.
No.
Why, sir?
No chance.
Why, sir?
If you say there is a chance, there is no chance. If he says that there is no chance, then from then on he will wait. No chance or wait, there is a chance. And the chance, why should it be you?
Why not be me, sir?
Why not you means no chance.
It's very hard.
You are the one
to hit
who,
myself.
I can tell you one thing. If there is anybody who doesn't deserve whatever happened to me, it's me.
And also once upon a time you told that. And also once upon a time you told that.
I never expected this kind of a thing.
Yuji.
That's why I call it calamity.
Yuji.
Eat sweets, sir. You are so sweet. Add some more sweets.
Yuji. And also you told that once upon a time if there is anybody who deserves this, it's only me and nobody else.
Yes, that does not mean you are the chosen one.
You
that
said
doesn't mean no.
You said Ramana, sir?
When Ramana was, I did not say that you don't have any chance. Nobody has any chance. There is no need for that at all. There is no need to be free from fear because it's not there.
You say at one side there is fear only operating.
No, that's for you see, but actually there is no fear. There is no need. Anything you are doing to free yourself from fear, he is the one that is not ready.
Are you saying I need to do something?
Nothing, you don't need to do anything.
Non-existing thing, what do you do?
But see, I have a problem with society, you see. Say for 24 years I've just drifted around and today I feel to me, I need to, I need to pass exams.
Certainly, otherwise how can we survive in this world?
Sure, I know, I'm doing that.
That's all, there is no other way.
But
See, we are functioning in a society where you have to acquire certain tools. You are more intelligent than I am. So you will be an engineer. You see, I am a dropout, so I don't have any chance of becoming an
I'm
engineer.
virtually a dropout.
No, you are a bright boy. We don't want you to make money, sir, as an engineer.
Whatever we call it, the happiness, all the kind of emotions, they are self-created, right? And
No,
does that have any chemical reaction?
All are chemical changes.
It does.
All of them. What you call
cheating.
Cheating. It has no, it doesn't need you to interfere and make it last or disappear.
So otherwise this body is not interested in
Now
having
it is
any kind of emotion.
You see, why we are in misery is because we don't want to accept that the body can handle anything and everything by itself. And actually, whatever you think is necessary, good for this body, it is rejecting. The body does not want that. That is why you are in misery. You understand what I am saying? It doesn't want anything, good or bad. So, can that body you are describing in terms that it is something extraordinary, it doesn't need any? Can it not handle these problems? It is handling the problems in a very easy way. It is throwing out everything like shit. But you want to hold on to it. That's it. Or replace that with some other thing.
Around 3 months back I was...
Don't talk of 3 months back. Don't talk of 3 months back. Now doesn't exist.
No, doesn't exist. Only past exists. When he says 3 months back, you said you don't agree with that also.
No,
It's very difficult to handle.
If he wants to find out the now, I'm telling you it doesn't exist.
Only the past will come. The 3 months only have to come.
Yes.
Let him say, sir. 3
What
months.
is the point in bringing that into the present? No.
Because there is no present.
It is dead.
See, there is no present then.
No, forget it. Then there is no problem.
Dead things are there. Let us
No,
talk
dead
about
things.
dead
How
things.
can you
Okay, say
put life into the dead things?
I read your books.
No,
I have read your books. And you're saying things like what you observe about thought is a thought. There is no thought there apart from what you
The observer is the thought. That's all. There is no thought there. So what is that observer is created by others.
I tried doing that the entire day, okay, but entire day I was trying to be perfect and just do whatever I wanted to do and observe myself, and it drove me
Crazy.
It was, I just couldn't.
You are already crazy and don't seem to be. Oh my God. You don't do nothing.
I go to sleep totally scared. I don't know what's happening.
Please sit around. Another program. Oh, I see. I want your answer, not what others have said. Only your answer, if you have any answer. Your thinking means the material that others have provided as second hand, isn't it? Yes, it is. No, it is necessary to find out about thought. So those jokers have given us this shit. You see, I'm sorry.
Hey, you told me this last time.
I don't know what I said last time.
Last
You have
time,
to
cultural oral shit.
Oral shit,
Yeah.
is anal shit, you see, goes this way. And the other shit that is coming out of your mouth is the oral shit that is put in by your culture. Right? So you have to find an answer for yourself and by yourself. And your answer, I guarantee, there is any answer for you, will be far more interesting to me than all that shit that is put in.
No, tell us how to find the answer.
How means you want to know? How means?
There must be a way.
That is, there is another, supposing I tell you...
What should I do now?
You don't have to do anything because you don't need to find any thought there because there is no such thing as thought. How can I...
You know, when you say that your questions aren't questions, what you're actually saying is, the question itself is from the knowledge, right?
Dirty, filthy. Huh?
Questions are all from all knowledge, all the answers that I already have.
Yeah.
All the questions who am I, even am I?
Yeah, why are you interested in finding out who am I? There was some joker there and
I'm not.
said who am I?
It's,
Go into
curiosity.
it, find out, analyze. I found out that only one I there existed in me. There is the first person singular pronoun.
So even if I ask myself, am I?
Huh?
Am I?
What?
You know, I don't ask myself, who am I?
Why are you asking that question? Who am I?
I'm not asking myself, who am I? I'm asking myself, am I?
What do you mean? Don't try to be clever. Am I means what?
Okay, I'm clever. You just...
You are very clever. Otherwise you would be there in the engineering college.
I'm not doing very well.
No, that's all. You are doing well. You are doing very well. You get your BEd and then go to America. What do you call it? Engineering degree, BE, Bachelor of Engineering. Your girlfriend is going. Yeah.
I want to know why there is space, why there is time. And
Is
why
there,
I am
is there a time, sir? Come on.
Yes.
Is there a time? Is there any such thing as time? That's the only time.
Chronological time.
That is the only time. There is no other time. That is, you see, the chronological time is for practical reasons. You see, you have to go and catch an air, or you have to go to your office at a particular time. So we have to have certain hours. The bank opens at 8 o'clock and closes at 12 o'clock or 11:30, as the case may be. On Saturday, we have to take the money. You see, you have to use that clock. Other than that, there is no other time. No other time. The other thing that we are all concerned about is I don't like to use that word, psychological time. If you are not happy, you want to be happy. So a happy man would never ask the question, I want to be happy. You see, because there is no such thing as happiness at all there. So then you say, I want to be happy. I want to be happy all the time. You see. So then that is not now. Now there is no such thing as happiness at all in this frame, present frame. So you want to be happy, and that is always in the next frame, next time. So you have to push yourself to a point there. You see, that is there. So to walk from here to there, it takes time. You see, the space, you see, the space does not exist. Space also is created by the thought which is put in there. So there is no such thing as space. There is no such thing as time also. But for practical purposes, you have to create time. You see, what is the time? It is now 3:45 here. And then you move in this direction. It is 7:15 inside. Right? You add another 2 hours, 9:15 there in New Zealand. If you move this, it is 4.5 hours behind. London is 5.5 hours behind. New York is add another 5 or 6 hours as the case may be. You go to Los Angeles, this is 13.5 hours behind. You see, this is, you have fixed up, you see the light, you see sunrise and sunset. The sun doesn't move at all, it's stationary, it doesn't move at all. It is this that is moving, you see. So, it is, in the final analysis, it is meaningless for one who is constantly traveling. And traveling, you see, in the latest planes. So, for example, you see, I left Los Angeles on Saturday night at 10:30, arrived at 6:30 on Monday morning. And what happened to the Sunday there? It just disappeared. I know you can explain. You have drawn an international date line. That's an artificially international date line because you keep going, suddenly you see the sun is there. You will be surprised, you see. If you travel the other way around, you leave today and arrive yesterday. So you have the same day twice. It creates, you see, a lot of problems for you. But for one who is constantly traveling, you will be surprised. You see, the eating example, for example, you see, when you leave here at 6:30 in the morning, you eat your breakfast here. And you arrive there in London, for example, you see, they will all be eating breakfast there at 11 o'clock there. They are eating lunch, you see, you should be eating dinner here. You see, these are all artificially fixed timings. And you have to fit into that, otherwise you will be in trouble. You see, here you go to the toilet at 6 o'clock. Every day if you are not suffering from constipation, if you allow that body to take care of itself without putting any of your ideas, controlling anything, you will be surprised that at 6 o'clock Indian time, you see, 10:30 there, you see, Sydney, you go there at 10:30. So eating also has to be changed. That's why for years and years I maintained and told everybody that the biological clock is 25 and a half hours and the chronological clock is 24 hours. He said, what are you talking? He doesn't know what he's saying, all these scientists, microbiologists. And recently they have found out, the daughter once came, Yuji, what you have been telling for years, and we didn't believe what you were saying, and we have discovered that the biological clock, as you say, is 25 and a half hours. So from the time the baby is born, you push that baby to fit into this time. You see, biological clock is different. See, they have to fit into our time, otherwise the mother will be in trouble, you see. So you are forcing from that moment onwards to fit their time into our chronological clock, which is essential, you see, for them to function in this world. There is no other way. But there is a tremendous resistance when they go to sleep. If you closely observe, you will be surprised that there is a time difference between the biological clock, the body clock, and then that chronological clock invented times. So this will confuse you. And that is what they are saying, when you travel, you see, there is no, I never felt any of the things that they are talking about, because I start living the time, and then you see eating habits, I don't eat anyway, it doesn't matter to me. I don't observe breakfast, lunch, dinner, you see, the same thing I eat. Not to bother about whether the body is hungry or not, you see. So for me it's no problem at all. So there is no such, it is not the timeless. Not all this Vedantins talk about is absolute rubbish.
How do you know that that is rubbish?
Huh?
How do you know that?
It is a concept which you have invented. You see, that is why you have the problem of the time. You see, there must be some other time. The only time that you are bothered about is to achieve your goals. And that goal takes time. You see, if you want something, it has to materialize right away. You see. But you have to take into consideration the time factor. It takes some hours, some time to achieve your goals. So this was my problem in those days. When we talked about the rishis said something, things immediately happened. And my question was, why should that bastards blessings and curses should happen immediately? Why not mine? You understand? So it created a sort of inquiry to find out if that is possible for that guy, it must be possible for me. Of course I rejected all that nonsense. It never happened that way. These are all the stories. If there is anybody, I want him to say something, I want that to happen immediately. It will never happen. You can be certain of that. And then you see, I experimented with that. So you can use your thought to make certain things happen. See, that also takes time. You see, and you believe that your thought is responsible for something you want to happen. Even there is a gap. Yesterday he was telling me, see, I want, and he asked me to tell the story of my friend. I have a friend in England. He weighs 225 kilos, and he's so fat that he cannot walk through this. And he studied in London. He has a degree and all that. He's so fat that he cannot do anything, so he's doing the courier's job on a motor bicycle. And he fell in love with the wife of his best friend. You see, so he didn't have the guts to propose himself or tell his girlfriend, best friend's girlfriend, I love you. So he wanted this best friend to die. Right? I want my friend to die, I want my friend to die, I want my friend to die, I want my friend. That was his meditation. It didn't happen immediately. After a year, that guy was knocked down by a car and he died. So he himself went and buried there the body, and then after 5 or 6 months he approached this girl, and what makes you think that I will fall for you, I am interested in you? She threw him out. She wanted to hit him. And then he felt so miserable because his thought resulted in the death of his best friend, and from then on he went every morning to the burial ground. There he buried that body. Come back to life, come back to life, come back to life, come back to life. It didn't happen. And so he came to me. I knew him very well. Eugene, you are the only one that can bring back that guy to life. We have our stories that Jesus did it, so many other people brought so many people back to life. You are the only one. I have tremendous faith in you. You see, you are the only one that can bring back my friend back to life. Because I have done this terrible thing, I wanted him to die. I said, it was not because of your wish that guy died. It was an accident, he was knocked down by a car. You are establishing the cause and effect relationship. You just forget it, you can't bring him back to life. There has already been, provided a field day for millions and millions of things there. They are enjoying, don't bring him back to life. And then, later on I discovered something very amazing. Wanting and thinking is the same. You see, you want something. It doesn't matter what you want. And so how do I get what I want? It doesn't matter what you want. Whether you want to run away with your best friend's wife, or you want $1 million, you want to... The enlightenment doesn't exist. Spiritual things don't bother. They don't exist at all. In the material world is all that we are talking about. The want, you see, why is there this gap? I discovered that whatever I wanted, I could get it. Anything I wanted in life. By that time I brushed aside, the enlightenment and all the spiritual things I was interested in because they don't exist at all. The material things I want, you know. And so why is there this time gap? You see, why it happened in the case of the rishis? The moment they said, I want it, it materialized. Why it doesn't materialize? But see, I found that my wants were reduced to the minimum. You see, this I discovered. And my needs and goals are the same. See, when my needs and goals became the same, so there was no problem for me. I didn't have any goals beyond my means. So if I didn't have the money to buy a Rolls-Royce car, I have my richest friend, a multi-millionaire. I can put my hand in his pocket and take the $1 million and buy a car or $100,000. I tell the guy, you see, don't call me a pickpocket buddy. I must have the means to buy. So then they go on and on and on to discuss. You see, they have nothing else to talk about. All right, you are attracted to a pretty woman there. Attracted to it. That is the action. Attraction to that pretty woman there. So what do you do? What do you do when once you are attracted? You go and grab her. Probably she will slap you on one cheek, and you can quote Jesus and show the other cheek, and she will slap you on the other cheek. Or she might say, buddy, let's go and have fun. How much money do you have in your pocket? You don't know what she will do. Or you moralize, I am supposed to be as a moral man, I cannot be attracted to the women
But
like
I'm
that.
scared, you see, I'm scared. I don't do anything.
You are not doing anything. See, where is the action here? Action is all the things that I suggested. Any one of those things you can do. But you are not doing anything, you are sitting and thinking about what is wrong with that only action. You see, thought, if it takes its birth, there is an action. You see, then afterwards I realized that itself is an action. So you can't say that you are a saint, that you are a holy man. How can you be attracted to a woman? That kind of further talk is not there. If you are not a saint, you are not. How can you be simply attraction to a pretty woman? Why you are condemning? You see, whether you are a saint or a sinner, it can happen to anybody.
So you're saying the attraction is already, it's there, it's normal, it's happening.
Even that attraction wouldn't be there, because the attraction is born out of, you see, the knowledge you have of her as a pretty girl. If the knowledge that she is a pretty woman is not there, you will not be attracted to her at all.
See, I don't even tell myself she's
Otherwise you don't know. How do you know that she's a pretty woman?
Yeah.
No, how do you know? We have been brainwashed to believe they are pretty girls, the others are ugly ducklings. You know? So you are, this knowledge you have is a problem that is condemning that action.
Not knowledge, instinct.
In no instincts at all, sir. Instincts
Even
don't
that
exist.
instinct is also knowledge.
Knowledge. We want to separate it, yes.
Excuse me, they say that what is exactly Brahman then?
Yes.
That these fellows said.
They say, don't ask me, ask them. They say, Brahman doesn't exist for me at all. Invented by those jokers, you see. You know, if there is a Brahman, I am Brahman, you can repeat hundreds of times. Since that is an invention, you can also fool yourself that you are a Brahman.
Then what is that state that Ramana and Ramakrishna?
They were all, you want me to use a dirty word? Nothing to them. Nothing. No, they were all salesmen selling you call them.
I mean, how do you know?
I know for certain that there is no such thing. If the bastard told us to find out who am I, and then you start, you see, on the journey of finding out, analyzing, finding out the real I I found was the first person singular pronoun. Other than that, I didn't find any other I. That is very essential for me to use the first person singular pronoun, because you see, there is somebody else you have to say. And that was the reason why I met that bastard Ramadas, the joker. You see, he never used that word I. Ramadas is very happy to see you. Ramadas will be glad to have lunch with you. Ramadas would like you to stay here for 2 or 3 days. Ramadas, you say, what the hell, you are the most self-centered, I didn't use that word bastard, self-centered man I have come across. What is it that you are trying to tell me, that you don't have any self? Why you replace that, you see, whatever his name, Ramadas. They say, I will be happy, I am glad to see you, I would like to have you for lunch and get it over. And this joker, G Krishnamurti, is a joker Krishnamurti. He used that word speaker. What is being said? What is it that you are trying to prove? Huh? That you don't have that self, that you don't have that I you want to be free from? Why do you believe those bastards? You tell me. Huh? You are a self-centered man and he is also. So I walked out on that guy, sorry, thank you for your invitation to stay here. I am not interested. Don't try to be. See, when I was there on the BBC, the Guest of the Week interview, somebody, very famous guy, read my books. He said, I can't handle this fellow, he will finish me in no time. You try to bring somebody else. They tried 1 or 2. They brought a very great scholar and professor of Eastern religions in some university to interview me. That was the program, you see, Guest of the Week program. So the first question he asked me, you are blasting everything that the religions have taught us and stood for. Why you have not changed your name? Why you have not changed your name? Only criminals and holy men change their names. Holy men change their names more often than criminals. That was my answer to it. That's the fact. We were Rajini so many times he changed his name with bastard. Right? So otherwise, why is it so important? Why do you have to prove to others by changing the color of your robes, you become, you say, a saint? Huh? Why? Why you do that? Whom are you fooling? Huh? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to change your name? Give me a number. I have a number from my passport, my bank number. street number, house number, and your bus's number. Hello, sir. Why do you have to bother about that? You see, they have to prove. They want to prove that they don't have that self, that they are not self-centered like millions of us. We fall for those bastards. They are the worthless. I'm telling you.
Okay, 99 of them might be
100%, not one single exception. Anybody who starts proselytization and conversion, starting with, you see, the great rishis were drinking soma juice, they substitute for all this stuff, the chemical drugs you take, the ecstasies, That's all. They experienced a lot of things and they talked about that and they passed on from generation to generation. A 14-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy sitting there in Himalayas, me I'm talking about, meditating, experienced every damn thing they described, highest states. Then I said, you see, what the hell? You see, you are in the same state as that guy. You have yourself produced these things through the help of thought. These are all thought-induced experience. Now, finish. And then you see, when I felt the last time that you are in the same state as all those greatest teachers that we have had and we have in this world, they say, how the hell do you know that you are in the same state as Buddha? That was my question. How the hell do you know? Because that description you are using and creating a state of mind or whatever you want to call and experience that and tell yourself that you are in the same state. Until yesterday you wanted to be in that state. Today you are telling yourself that you are in the same state. Bullshit. You have not moved from square number one.
One question I want to
You have wasted 49 years of your life. Just throw all that out of your system. I think
About a quarter ago, I saw my entire life history on a Nadi leaf.
Yes.
Only. How can you explain that?
I don't know. I have only one suspended judgment on that. The past comes accurate up to a point, and then the future you can't be sure.
But how does the past come there?
I don't know why those bastards sat there and discussed, you see, my life. And one thing, you see, what is amazing about that, I have a big volume, sir. Everybody who is considered to be an Adi man, astrologer, and palmists all over the world. There is a book, you see, about my life and my future and everything that is there. And so the names are amazing. Names are amazing. I still don't have any answer. It doesn't mean that I swallow all that. Why should Shiva discuss my life with Parvati? Or some two rishis discuss my life.
Maybe there is really a Shiva and a Parvati who discuss our lives.
I told them, you see, the Nadi man, the Shiva instead of fucking Parvati, he discussed my life. What the hell he was doing? I am very free with my words. Sorry, F word is a common word in the English language. Every time.
But whenever this came into existence, whenever this...
I don't know why they wrote it. No, this thing is... What I am telling you, how do they know the names? You see, I know that Indian names I can imagine. You see, my name they said. You see, the Krishna.
everybody's name it's accurate.
Indian, Indian, not necessarily accurate. Not necessarily accurate. 90% accurate. That much I know. But somebody, a friend of mine, Dr. Leboyer, came here. He went to that same fellow Nadi, this man there in Madras, and. Very few people knew that he changed his name when the Jews, when Germany occupied France, you see. And then he changed his name at that time to protect himself. And then you see that guy there said, this is not your name, your actual name is that. You see, when they don't know how to pronounce that, they give the letters, you see,
First letter, second letter,
third letter, fourth letter is it. That he himself was amazed and I myself was totally flabbergasted. You see this, even I did not know until then that he changed his name during the occupation, German occupation of France, you see. That amazed me. So the only thing that still cannot make me brush aside the whole thing, you see. How is it possible? What is the gimmicks they use, not clairvoyance, clairaudience, and why they were interested in the persons that would be born after 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Why they wrote all this?
Angle I want to ask about. Whenever it came into existence, I was not here.
Yeah.
But then it was my future which is
So
the past now.
I don't think
Then, no?
I don't think all those questions will give us any satisfactory answers. You understand? That logical explanations which we offer to ourselves, which seem to be very logical and very acceptable to us, but still you see I don't accept that at all because it's not 100% correct.
But these are the possibilities of the mind, right? What they did then,
What?
all that they did then. Possibilities of the mind.
But don't bother. Mind doesn't exist anyway. That is not the
The
point.
seminar is going on right now, Jigani in Vivekananda Kendra,
Yeah.
on Nadi Shastra and Killian photography.
And what?
Killian photography. Taking the photo of Russian technology. Nagendra.
So if Nagendra is conducting,
Yes.
you can forget
He is
it.
organized.
He is known for this kind of stuff. He is known for this kind of
They are coming and talking.
So you forget it. Now you mentioned it.
Singapore, there are studios, I believe. You just go give $5, have a clean photography of yourself and walk out.
Yes, yes. You have those things. You see.
Yeah.
You can also have sex with some saints on the astral plane.
That is too much.
Not too much. I don't want to.
What is that?
Tell the real stories. And I have had sex with the saints. Yeah, goddesses even. On the astral plane, I did not know. And they told their disciples, see, there are depressions on my cheek. And I said that this single bed is not good enough for us. And that woman bought a double bed for us. And so I had to return after so many years the money to that woman who bought this double bed. I am not joking. So I am not allowed to mention the names.
Because they are alive.
They are alive. They still have the picture of this God.
Yes.
Why should I go on the astral plane to make love to a woman? A saint of all the persons, a God, who is a goddess or something, you know. You see, sir, there will come a time when you will find out how, you see, now they are doing a lot of experiments in the laboratory. The sound and light are interchangeable. You see, from sound you can create pictures. See them, you see, you know. And then that is how all these people who repeat the mantras and Gayatri, when I don't know Gayatri ever existed, the beach, you see, I never saw that beach. Although I repeated that 3,000 times a day, sitting there, sir.
You didn't see her? You didn't see her?
That beach never existed. Now I am waiting.
Maybe she brought enlightenment.
Nadi, one of the Nadis said that even if you kick Goddess Lakshmi, she will follow your footsteps. Right? And I didn't see any bitch following my footsteps. And believing that I have given away 3 crores of rupees, hoping that bitch will follow my footsteps.
Why did you give away 3 crores?
Because I wanted some universities to produce virus to wipe out human species. MIT, like that. They refused finally. They didn't want it. You see, they said, you are yourself a virus, why do you need to produce a virus in the laboratory to wipe out human species?
Why did you want to wipe it out?
Because we don't deserve to be on this planet. Nature will wipe us all out very soon. How soon we will know. But the longer we remain on this planet, the greater is the misery for all the other forms of life.
So, regarding wanting and getting, there is a gap.
Wanting and getting, wanting and thinking is the same.
Yes, that's
there
gap.
can't be any thinking without want. And the moment you want, the thinking follows that.
Yes.
So that is why first time I discovered
How do you explain this
in
gap?
China, when I went there some 6 years, this is the 7th time next time I go there. You see, they use the same word for wanting and thinking. I thought that was original. You see, when I said this, wanting and thinking is the same, but they use the same word for wanting and thinking. And then that's all right. They use other words, borrowing and lending. Also they use the same word. Then I said, I borrow some money from you and tell you that I am lending you money. So that would be very convenient. They use the same word for borrowing. And not only in China, I found out in Germany also, the German word is the same for borrowing and lending. So I tried that with some Germans. You see, it didn't work. You see, borrow some money from them and tell them that I am lending you the money. and you pay me back that money, which you borrowed from me. So nothing is original. And something, you see, when somebody asks me a question about God, I said God is the jumbled spelling of dog. You see? And of course the reactions were terrible on their part. And later on I found out in the computer, you see, you press that word God, the word God, and then there is another key there, you press it for jumbled spelling. The jumbled spelling of God is dog. Somebody has already put in the computer, you see. And already the selectivity and censorship is already there in the computer in a very microscopic way. So I asked my friend Julie to change her name. Julie Thayer is her name, family name is Thayer. I wanted her to change her family name Thayer into Bitch. Julie Bitch sounds better. See? And she put it in the computer rejected it already. Bastard and bitch are not there. And then they have word also, in some of them there are dots, you see, between they are trying to be clever. The moment you succeed in putting thinking mechanism in the computers, their usefulness will be finished. Because thinking mechanism puts selectivity and censorship. That is all that thinking does to us. Selective, and then you also, you see, bother about censorship. You understand?
So this gap we were talking about. Yes. Sometimes there will be a long gap, sometimes there will be a short gap.
About what?
About getting the things.
Getting the things, it doesn't immediately happen.
Yes.
Just the way we believe that anything that those guys, rishis, said happened immediately. Mostly curses happen, not blessings. You see. Blessings didn't always happen. That is why Brahmachari always told me,
is it because
your curses operate but your blessings don't.
Is it,
oh yes, I cursed him.
Is it because of the...
I am in the same bracket as the great rishis, you see, also cursed. If they cursed, if gods and goddesses cursed, why not a poor chap like
so,
me?
what is it due to?
What?
That gap.
You were thinking? Yes, you grab that bitch there, or check immediately.
No sir, he is asking,
Why is the gap between the thinking and wanting?
wanting and
Wanting is-
rectifying.
There is no such thing as wanting.
No, his question
That's
is
what I am saying. I want something means the thinking has to come into operation immediately.
No, when the rishis could materialize,
Then nothing, they were all stories. They were all
rishis couldn't get anything by their wishing,
nothing,
couldn't get anything at all.
nothing. They are all stories.
You also can't get anything by wishing.
Nothing unless I put my hand in your pocket and pick up the money. Then don't call me a pickpocket.
Is it by...
Sai Baba,
Is it the intensity of the thought and repetition of the thought which is going to decide the thing?
Nothing. The intensity is what you put into that. That is why you have emotions. There is no need for any emotion since you can't get. You use will, what you call will.
What is that will? How do you explain that?
There is no will. You force yourself to get things you want or free yourselves from the things you don't want. That you call will, and you don't succeed. Sometimes you succeed, and so you think that your will has helped you to get whatever you want.
So
next time you try it, it won't work.
Is will...
100% it must be. I know statistics. I am not impressed by statistics.
Will is
Statistics only 50%.
Will is constant repetitive.
What is will, sir? You tell me. Don't use that word.
Is it...
What is will?
That is constant
I don't
repetitive
know.
thought.
Don't talk shit.
It's knowledge, what I have of
What is will? You tell me.
I didn't know from
You want something, you don't get it, and you force yourself, do everything possible, not physically.
When we don't get it,
When you don't get what you want, you use your will, they call it. Physical force or mental force, what is called. Your mental force is not there. That you call will. You see, I have the will. You write your will, leaving everything to your kids. Huh? Not so. That is your
nothing
will.
but thinking.
Huh?
Nothing but thinking.
Nothing but force. You force yourself. Forcible.
Forcible thinking.
I want it. You see.
Forcible thoughts.
I want it. You don't get it. So you do everything possible to get what you want. So what I am telling you, just be clear about what do you want. What do you want? That's all that I am
So
asking.
if I want something, I can get it.
No, there are ways and means of getting what you want. Don't introduce moral elements into the picture.
No moral elements.
If you want money, you see, by fair means if possible. If you can't get money by fair means, use foul means. That's all. You see, everybody is after the same. Either you use physical force or you see any other, but you have invented and telling those guys it is immoral, it is, you look down
So if
upon
I
the
want
guy.
moksha, I will get it.
Moksha doesn't exist. You should get it if it is there. You have been brainwashed to believe. What will you do with moksha? To fool yourself and fool others. It is useful only for exploiting others. That I am a liberated man. What will you do with the liberation, assuming for a moment there is a liberation? You want to be liberated from what?
From pain.
Huh?
Pain.
Pain doesn't exist for the body. You
No,
have, no.
When I am having a headache.
Headache, you
Or a
see,
donkey.
even headache is not there. Only they created the headache. These doctors.
So you are talking about money.
Money.
That's Ramakrishna when he slept or something. I believe.
No,
there was
you
some
don't.
point- No.
I
thought-
want you to read the original book in Bengali, not the English version. Those bastards, you see, did this.
Colored it.
Colored it. No, I met that bastard there, Sri Ramakrishna Mission.
To whom?
Nikhilānanda, who translated that into English. I asked him that fellow, why you have, you see, dropped all the F words which he used so frequently, the actual stories that are there in the Bengali version. Why you did it? See, that will destroy the image we are creating here in this country. So he used the F words more frequently than I used, you see. It was he who inspired me. Otherwise, I was brought up by this.
Someday he was inspired
No. The other thing also inspired me. The money he is talking about. Any time any visitor visited him,
Money also.
the first thing he asked was, how much money do you have, sir? How much money you can give me? These are the two things he asked. And the stories they are telling, he had a shock. You see, probably at that time, you see the static electricity, you see, gave you a sort of a shock. You don't have to touch coins now. You touch your doorway or the handle, you get the shocks. You see, you don't have to touch money. At that time, probably that fellow had some sort of a static electric shock, and then he made this, he used water to light his lamp, so he is a great man, miraculous he can perform. So they started giving him gallons and gallons of kerosene from that moment onwards. But nobody explained to them, when you put water, what was there at the bottom surfaces comes to the top. As any student of science, he will find out.
Now we know.
And the kerosene is lighter than what? So
Lighter than-
it settles down at the top.
On the top. You see, they didn't tell that, you see, those
No, but
guys.
this, Putpurti Sai Baba, a middle school dropout, how is it they have created such a huge amount of wealth in
There are enough fools in this world to fall for that kind of thing. Sure, he started colleges to have boys for his homosexual activity. And so that is all the reason why he starts colleges.
No, but how could they achieve so much?
There are so many people, sir, who can achieve, you see.
The
Especially
market.
in that field, there is a market for such crooks. You see, you believe in that? Is miracles, is performing miracles?
No, the educational institution is built up,
Education.
the hospital, the stadium.
Sir, he built up with a fellow whom he knows very well. A European came and built
Americans
up on
are
that.
Because of him.
Oh,
Nobody
not
really
special. He was a real estate guy who had a lot of money.
Ah.
He wanted, I told him, he himself was shocked. Why are you helping him to create all these colleges for the boys? I said, do you know he's a homosexual? This was 1971, 72, so many years
He's
ago.
not driving the buildings as a miracle. After all, people like you are working for him.
And
like
like him,
engineers and architects and money people.
Yeah.
Pouring money.
How can you draw those people to him?
That's
what
what
I call it.
A magician.
How will you inspiring them?
He can fool them well like that. Offering moksha.
Or Bhagavantam
Let's
and
say for money.
Thackeray.
Why did he walk out afterwards? He found out. If you want, you can see that BBC program. What is it?
Secret lives of people.
Guru Basters.
Guru Basters.
He's a magician, sir.
Somebody handing over. He's a magician.
We have all seen the trick he is doing in slow
But
motion.
this fellow that is possible.
I can also do that now. You see, do you know how I learnt all those tricks, sir? There is one fellow there in Australia who is doing his doctorate. The subject of his thesis is God-man. And he has read a lot of stuff about me and read all the books. He tried his best to include me in his thesis. He totally failed. He spent a lot of time with Sai Baba here for years and years. And he got nothing from him. He found out how he was mesmerizing people. how he was creating all these things out of nowhere. And so then he heard that I was there in Sydney. There were about 30, 40 people like this and who came to see me. And I spoke for 2 hours. And then you see, they also showed the interviews, the TV interviews. And half a day he spent with me. And he came and introduced himself and said, Diji, even now I can't, with all this, my encounter with you, personal encounter, watching all those things, there is no way I can include you in my thesis. It's all right, I'm not concerned about it. There is no way you can include me anywhere, for that matter. And then he said, I'm going to do what he did. You see there, this place, Bangalore, he spent 6 or 8 months here watching it very closely. And then first thing you see the ashes, and how he made those